Greetings, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day today. Wanted to send out a not so quick note of encouragement today as it relates to what I believe God has given me to share today around sifting and shifting. I believe that through many conversations and even in my personal space right now, God is doing a lot in our lives around sifting who we have in our lives and the things that we have in our lives that He's going to either validate the presence of those people and those things, as well as sort out and shift some folks out of our lives and shift some things out of our lives that are not relevant for where God is taking us. It is a challenging space to be in because a lot of us are holding on to things that God says is not a part of where He's taking us to in the next phase of our journey. And what makes it difficult is we may be sifting through some long term relationships or some long term habits or some long term behaviors or some long term things that God is trying to sift out of our lives to make us equipped for where He's taking us to. And as well as shifting us in our own personal experience, in our own personal walk for the level of blessing, and that level of blessing is going to require a level of excellence that we may not be currently prepared for, but God is preparing us for it through the sifting process. So my encouragement today is to really look at what God is doing in your life right now, because it may not feel good. And even though it doesn't feel good, you have to understand that through the process of strengthening your faith, it's not always going to feel good, because you may lose people that you love in this process, because you have to tell them that there are certain things that they can't sow into your ground that makes you feel uncomfortable. And that level of discomfort that God is allowing you to experience is because He wants excellence out of you as He's taking you to another level. The other thing is, God has a calling on all of our lives, and where He may be calling you to may not be connected to where He's called others to. And if that connection is not there, and you have to alter, change, or modify the relationships that you've once had with these individuals, it may be that God is taking you someplace where He doesn't want those others to be as it relates to what He's doing in your calling on your life. And again, it may not be a comfortable space, but it's a necessary space. And then when God is not only sifting you and sifting the things in your lives and sifting the people in your lives, it's for the shifting, because the shifting is moving you from where you are to where He wants you to be and where He's called and destined for you to be. And that sifting and shifting process go hand in hand, and it is a process that I believe that God takes us all through at some point as we mature in Christ, and as we mature in our lives and our living, and as we mature in the things that mean more to God's plan for our lives versus our plan for our lives. So again, I encourage you today to evaluate the space that you're in relative to sifting and shifting. Be very prayerful about that, because it's not that you love people any differently. It's not that you cut people off or cut people out of your lives, but it may be that you may need to love some people from a distance. It may mean that you need to stop doing some things, or start doing some things, or continue doing what you're doing as it relates to the obedience to the plan that God has called you to fulfill. Be very cautious in how you respond and react to people who react to you in a negative way because of the sifting and the shifting, because that will also be a part of your testimony. Some people that you may have to alter the relationships with may look at you differently because they see a difference in you, and that's okay. You have to be okay with where God is taking you, because it's better to please God than to try and satisfy a man and displease God. So again, learn to appreciate the process of sifting and shifting. Be very prayerful about where God is taking you, and use that to the benefit of the glory of God. Be encouraged, and I love you all, and take care.